Okay. So guys, in today class, we are going to start the security part of CCNA. So in security, the first topic that we are going to discuss, that is called port security. What is called, guys? That is called port security. Now we need to understand what is port security and why we need the port security. Now, I'm writing some points regarding the port security. Please focus here, guys. The first point, what do you mean by port security? So this is a layer 2 security feature. This is a layer 2 security feature on Cisco switches that limits the number of MAC address number of MAC address that can be learned on a port. Basically, that is the meaning of port security, guys. So port security means that is the layer number 2 security feature on Cisco devices. And basically, by the help of port security, what you can do, you can limit the number of MAC address on any specific port. Clear? So what is the meaning of this? If anyone asks you, what is the meaning of this? For example, this is the switch. And with this switch, definitely I already told you with this switch, who is connected, guys? Always end users are connected, right? So for example, this is the PC1, PC. So every PC have its unique MAC address, right? So for example, this is the port. On this port, for example, MAC address is 0A. 0A is learned. For example, after some time you change the PC. And then on this port, there will be a different MAC address. Yes or no? Right now. So port security means, guys, basically by the help of port security, what you can do, you can limit the number of MAC address on the interface. On the interface. So what is the benefit? What is the benefit here? Getting my point? What is the benefit? So please remember, what is the benefit, guys? It help in preventing unauthorized device from connecting to a network. Yes. By the help of port security, you can prevent any unauthorized device that are connecting in your network. Yes, you can prevent it. Getting my point? Everyone, yes or no? Is this clear? Yes. So that is port security. Now, next question is, why port security is very important? Why port security is very important? Why? Why port security is important? The basic thing, basically it prevent the MAC address flooding attack. What you can say? It prevent it prevent MAC address flooding attack. What is the meaning of MAC address flooding attack? Basically, in a normal switch operation, the cam means what, guys? In some book, you guys will see cam. Either you guys are telling cam or either we are telling the MAC address table. Both are same, guys. Right now, cam means content address memory. Clear? So basically in cam table, what is the use of cam table? To address or to store the MAC address, right? To store the MAC address as well as not only MAC address, which MAC address is learned on which port also. So basically in cam table, there is a mapping of MAC address with the port number. Clear, guys? So what do you mean by MAC address flooding attack? Basically, what attacker will do, attacker can send a massive number of fake MAC address. Massive number of fake MAC address. But why? To fill up your cam table. Basically, there is a limit. There is a limit size of the MAC address table. Right now, there is a limit memory. But for example, if attacker is sending you thousands of lakhs of fake MAC address, what will happen? Your MAC address table will full. Your MAC address table will full. And once the table will full, what will happen? The switch start flooding all the incoming traffic to every ports like a broadcast. For example, this is the switch. this packet is coming, this is going like this. It means if on this switch MAC address table is not full, in this case switch will take the decision on the basis of MAC address table. But for example, if your CAM table, your MAC address table is full, so now whenever any packet will reach onto the switch will broadcast it. No matter that is the unicast, multicast or broadcast, any packet, switch is always broadcasting. Clear? There is no concept of even VLAN also. Getting my point? So that is the problem. That is the problem. Why we are using the VLAN concept? To stop the broadcast packet. To stop the L2 broadcast packet. Getting my point? But once your MAC address table will full, there is no concept of VLAN. There is nothing. Every packet is going to broadcast. Clear? So now your switch is just behaving like a switch. Sorry, hub. Now your switch will behave like a hub. Clear? Now, basically, then what will happen? Basically, this allow attacker to capture your sensitive data. Now, this allow the attacker to capture your sensitive data. Getting my point? Maybe your attacker device is also now part of your network. Getting my point? So that's the reason we are using, guys, port security. So port security prevent this type of attack by limiting the number of MAC address learned on the port. Getting my point? So in this case, if attacker will send the number of thousands of MAC address, then in this case, port security will prevent it. Otherwise, you guys will face this type of challenges that is called, which attack, guys? Which attack I told you? MAC address flooding attack. I hope this is clear to all of you. Right, guys? Everyone? Yes. Now, how port security work? How port security work? Try to understand. First point that you need to remember. My question is how port security work. So the first point you need to understand, it allow only a limited number of MAC address on a switch port. This is the first point that you need to understand. If any unauthorized device MAC address, if any unauthorized device MAC address tries to connect, it takes action. It take action. Getting my point? But how? Which type of action? Based on the violation mode. What is violation mode? I will tell you later. Okay. But right now, just understand there are certain types of violation mode. So whatever the violation mode you guys will set, accordingly, switch will take the action. Clear? For example, there is a violation mode called shutdown. If you choose the violation mode shutdown, it means whenever any unauthorized packet will reach on the switch immediately shut this port. Getting my point? I will tell you later, but I hope you guys understand the point number 2. Clear? And third point that you need to understand, it works. It means port security. Port security works only on access port of the switch. Not only access port, sometimes it works on the trunk port also. On trunk port as well. But please remember, there are two ways by which we can configure the trunk port. There are two ways by which we configure the trunk port. First one is called static and second one is called dynamic. But it works, guys, on the trunk port as well. But there is a condition. But condition is port must be statically configured. Okay. Understand, guys? So there must be a static trunk, not dynamic trunk. Clear na? So guys, this is the way how actually your port security works. Anyone here who do not understand, let me know. Is this clear? So first point, what I told you, it only limits the number of MAC address on the switch port. Clear? Once you configure the port security, it limits the number of MAC address. Point number 2 that you need to understand, if any unauthorized device MAC address tries to connect with your switch, it take the action. And which type of action? Action will take, guys, based on the violation mode. Clear? And the point number 3 that you need to understand, if the port security works, port security only work on access port. Clear? And it works on the trunk also, but the condition is trunk must be configured statically. Done. Now, next thing that we need to understand is how we configure the port security. How we configure the port security. Getting my point, everyone? Anyone here who do not understand? Is this clear? For example, that is the PC. With this PC is connected with the switch. Fine. For example, this is the port fast Ethernet 0 by 1. For example, this is the port fast Ethernet 0 by 1. So where you configure the port security? Where you configure the port security, common thing here on this port, we configure the port security. Done. So what is the command? How we configure the port security? See, guys, first of all, you need to go on interface mode. So interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1. I go in interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1. Then, guys, you need to set this port as the access port. What you need to do? You need to set this port as a access port. This is the access port because end users are connected. Getting my point? So what is the command? Switch port mode access. So I set, guys, this port as the access mode. Switch port mode access. Now after that, you need to enable the port security. What is the command? Switch port security. This is the command to enable the switch port security, guys. This is the command to enable the port security. After that, you can run certain number of commands. For example, I am writing switch port security maximum 2. Maximum 2. What is the meaning of this one? Just wait, I will tell you. I configure, guys, switch port security maximum 2. After that, you need to configure the violation mode also. For example, I am writing switch port security violation, and after that you need to set the mode. There are 3 types of mode. I will tell you later. For example, I am writing here restrict. I am setting the mode, guys, restrict. Clear? Understand? After that, in port security, you can configure one more command. Switch port. This is optional. If you want, you can configure. Otherwise, there is no mandatory. Switch port security MAC address sticky. What, guys? Port security sticky, and then exit. Yes. So basically, guys, these are the command you can configure if you are trying to configure the port security. These are the command you guys can configure here on this port. Anyone here who do not understand? Is this clear, guys? Now I will tell you what is the use of these command. Clear? Now see here very carefully. First command, what I write here, guys, I return interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1. After that, I configure, guys, switch port mode access. I don't think anyone have any challenges here, right? So on this, what I did, I configure this port as the access port. By the help of this command, switch port security, what I did, I just enable the port security. Nothing else. I just enable the port security. Fine. After that, guys, we configure this command, switch port security maximum 2. What do you mean by maximum 2? Maximum 2 means I am telling to this port ki, hey, I am telling you, I am allowing you maximum 2 MAC address. Maximum 2 MAC address. For example, on this port switch already learned the 2 MAC address. But suddenly, if the switch learn the third MAC address, switch is receiving the third MAC address, switch will take the action. Switch will take the action. Getting my point? So, guys, what is the meaning of that one? Switch port security maximum 2. It means I allow maximum 2 MAC address here. Fine. Now there is a 2 more command, guys. Switch port violation strict and sticky MAC address. Right? I will tell you little bit in a detailed way. See here. What is the command I written, guys, here? See here. Switch port security. Switch port security violation restrict. Violation restrict. Now, what is the meaning of this command? What is the meaning of this command? So first point that you need to understand about this command. First point that you need to understand exactly what this command will do. It define it define the action the switch will take when violation will occur, guys. When violation will occur. So what is, guys, violation? Restrict. It means by the help of this command, I am telling to this switch ki, hey, if on switch port any types of violation will occur, you need to take the action. Which action you need to take? You need to take the action of restrict. You need to take the action of restrict. Clear? Violation means, guys, violation means, for example, if on any switch any unauthorized MAC address switch learned. Getting my point? If any unauthorized MAC address tries to connect with that switch, so this means that is violation. And in the case of violation, switch will take the action. Clear, guys? And in this, by the help of this command, which type of action you guys are selected? You guys are selected restrict action. Which action, guys? Restrict action. Now again, you guys have question, sir, what do you mean by restrict? What restrict actually did? What restrict did? So please remember, if any unauthorized MAC address tries to connect through this port, the switch will drop the packet. Switch will drop the packet from that MAC address. From that MAC address. However, the port remains active. The port remains active. The port remains active means, guys, this port will not goes down or not go in the error disable mode. Basically, in port security, that this is the mode, guys, error disable. Error disable mode means just like a shutdown mode. Clear na? It means our port will not go in error disable mode. Error disable mode means, guys, I just write down for your information, shutdown. Clear? Port will be active. Port will be active. Clear? The third point that you need to remember, in restrict mode, the switch locks the security violation. Locks the security violation in the system log and increment the violation counter. So, guys, basically in restrict mode, these are the three things you need to remember. Clear? So let me explain you again. The first point, guys, if any unauthorized MAC address tries to connect with through this port, what switch will do? Switch will immediately, or switch will start dropping the packet from that MAC address. First point, in restrict mode, switch will do. Point number two, if you configure the restrict mode, your port will remain active. Your port will not goes down. Your port will not go in error disable mode. Getting my point? The third point means the switch locks the security violation in the system log and increment the violation counter. Guys, basically I will show you practically. When you configure the port security, there is a concept of violation counter. There is a when you see in a port security status, there you guys will see there is a one line that is called violation counter. Violation counter means, for example, if this MAC address tries to connect with the switch first time, the violation counter will be 1. Second time, it will be 2. Third time, it will be 3. It means how many times violation will occur, its counter will increment by 1. Getting the point? That is called violation counter. Clear, guys? So basically in restrict mode, these are the 3 steps you guys need to remember. Clear? Basically switch will take this action. Clear? Anyone here who do not understand? Clear? So if anyone asks you what happened, if any MAC, if any unauthorized MAC address will reach onto the switch, what you need to do? What you need to tell? Okay, hey, packet will drop. Packet will drop. Second question, if interviewer will ask you, tell me, if packet is drop, it means the switch interface goes down. Answer is no. Ports remain active. Ports remain active. Clear? The third question your interviewer can ask you, tell me, switch will send the syslog message or not? Syslog means, guys, just understand like this. Just store the logs. Basically, in a company, we are using, guys, syslog. Clear na? Syslog is a type of server where all types of logs of your machine will going to store. Clear na? So yes, what happened, guys? Logs will generate and logs will store. I already written na, everyone. See here, guys. I already written security violation in the system logs. Yes, the switch log in the security violation in the system log. It means switch will store the logs. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Right? What about the violation counter? Violation counter also increased by 1. Violation counter also increased by 1. Is this clear, guys? Everyone? Yes or no? Done? So, guys, that is the meaning of switch port security. Fine. Now, where we are using this port security? Where we are using this port security, especially I'm talking about, guys, restrict mode. I'm talking about restrict mode, where we are using the restrict mode. For example, if you want to block any unauthorized device, but you don't want the port should go in down state or in error disable state, then what you can do? You can use restrict mode. What you can do, guys? You can use restrict mode. Getting my point? For example, if you are working in that type of environment where you can say lots of security breaches without disrupting the network services. Yes. So in this case also you guys can use the restrict mode. Clear? So basically, guys, this is all about the port restrict mode. I hope you guys understand. Clear, guys? Then second things I told you, the second command I told you, switch port security, MAC address, sticky. MAC address is sticky. What is the meaning of this? MAC address is sticky. MAC address is sticky means by the help of this command, generally what you are doing, you are just enabling the sticky learning MAC address. What you are doing is sticky learning MAC address for the port security. Clear? The main thing is the switch dynamically learn the MAC address from incoming traffic and automatically save that entry where, guys, as secure MAC address. In which table? In CAM table. I hope you guys know these things, right? What I'm telling, guys, by default, whenever any packet reach on the switch, what switch will do? Switch will automatically learn the MAC address and save that MAC address in which table, guys? MAC address table. Clear? But what is the meaning of sticky MAC address here? What is the meaning of sticky MAC address? Try to understand. When a device when a device connect and send traffic, the switch learn its MAC address. Switch learn its MAC address. This MAC address is then saved in where, guys? In the running configuration. Please remember. In which where, guys? In running configuration as a secured MAC address. As a secured MAC address. But if you save the configuration, how can you save the configuration? I hope everyone know. By the help of which command, guys? Write command, right? The learned MAC address the learned MAC address present after a reboot. After a reboot. So guys, this is the three terms you guys need to understand about the sticky MAC address. A sticky MAC address means when a device you guys are trying to connect and when that device send a traffic. For example, you already configured this command, sticky MAC address. For example, this is the switch. For example, this is the switch. Any MAC address came here, guys. Any MAC address came here on this port. What switch will do? The switch dynamically learn the MAC address from the incoming traffic and automatically save them as a secured MAC address. Save them as a secured MAC address. But here, what do you mean by secured MAC address? Secured MAC address means, for example, any MAC address come here on this port. On this port, what switch will do? Switch first of all learn this MAC address. Switch will learn this MAC address. After that, switch will save that MAC address in which configuration? Save that MAC address in which configuration, guys? Running configuration. Where, guys? In running configuration as a secured MAC address. So once your MAC address will save in the running configuration as a secured, it means now even you reboot the switch. Even you reboot the switch, that MAC address will not erase. That MAC address will not erase or not remove. It will be present. It will be remain. Getting my point? I hope this is clear to everyone. Clear? Yes. Now, where generally we are using this? In which type of condition we are using this one, guys? MAC address is sticky. For example, if you have a scenario, try to understand the scenario. For example, if you have a scenario like this, if you have switch and if you want to allow only the first device that connect and make them permanent. Try to understand what I told you. I am telling, for example, if you want, for example, this is the PC. This PC connect here. So this PC send the packet, guys. Any packet, for example, R packet. It come the MAC address and switch receive this MAC address here. This is the first MAC address the switch receive on this port, right? And my question is, in which type of scenario generally we are using the sticky MAC address? For example, there is only one PC and you are expecting only this PC MAC address on this port. You do not have second PC, third PC like this. So you want to allow only the first device that connect and make them as a permanent. I want this device as the permanent because there is no other device here. And I'm not even expecting any other device on this port. Clear na? So for example, this is also useful in your company also, where is printers is there. Any types of devices where you configure this static IP address like this. Right now, generally that device we are not changing generally. So in this case, we are using a static MAC address. Is this clear, guys? Everyone, yes or no? Done, na? Yes. Now, the basic question, what are the key feature of port security? What is the feature? We are configuring the port security. What is the feature? I already told you. First thing, maximum MAC address. Yes. By the help of port security, you can manage this one. You can manage this one. How many MAC address you want on any particular switch port? How many MAC address you want any particular switch port? By default, it's one. By default, it's 1. But its range is, guys, 121024. This is the range. It means from 1 to 1024. 1024. This is the range. It means till 1020 MAC address you can allow on any switch port. Getting my point? Yes. And you can change. If you want by default, what I told you, by default, its value is 1. For example, if you want to change it 10, how can you change? What is the command? Same command I already told you, guys. Switch port security and then use maximum keyword and then you can use, guys, any number from where to where. What I told you, 1 to 1024. Clear, guys? It is clear. So by this way, what you can do, you can change the value. Yes. So in this case, for example, if I set the value, any value, if I set here, for example, if I set the value here 10, if I set the value 10, so till 10 MAC address, everything is fine. But for example, if your switch is receiving the 11th MAC address, if your switch is receiving the 11th MAC address, I mean the more than 10 MAC address, Getting my point? It means, for example, if there are more than 10 device tries to connect with this port, it means more than 10 device means more than 10 MAC address. So in this case, what will happen, guys? This is called a violation. What will happen, guys? In this case, violation will occur. Getting my point? And switch will take the action. Which type of action? Which type of action? Whatever the violation mode you guys configure. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Done? Yes. Clear? And the second benefit of the port security is, guys, MAC address learning method also. I told you, right now I told you. MAC address learning method. This is the second benefit of port security. What? MAC address learning method. Yes, MAC address learning method. So guys, basically there are multiple ways by which you can learn the MAC address. There are multiple ways by which you can learn the MAC address. Try to understand. This is the switch. This is the PC. And for example, this is connected here like this. And for example, this is port fast Ethernet 0 by 1. This is port fast Ethernet 0 by 1. So what is the topic, guys? Learn MAC address learning method. This is also the feature of MAC address. Sorry, port security. Fine. What the first way switch can learn the MAC address, that is called static MAC address learning. Static MAC address learning method. So this is the way. It means manually, if you want to allow any MAC address, you can do it. What I am telling, if you want to allow any MAC address manually, you can do it. But again, how can you do it? First of all, go interface fast Ethernet 0 by 1. I want on this port any particular MAC address only allow. Because for example, try to understand the scenario best. For example, on this port, I am expecting only this device MAC address because this is fixed. This is fixed. For example, if this is any particular server, so I want this device always be connect on this port. There is no change. So I know the MAC address of this device. Yes or no? Right now, I know the MAC address of this device. So what I can do, I can set the MAC address of this device manually here on this port because I'm not expecting any other MAC address here on this port. Clear? So what can I do, guys? I can set switch port security MAC address, and whatever the MAC address, for example, 0000.0000.000a. This is the MAC address. This is the MAC address. I set the MAC address manually. This is the first way, guys, by which in port security, what you can do, you can allow the MAC address manually. It means on this access port. It means on this access port, only which MAC address is allowed? Only, guys, this is the MAC address allowed. This is the MAC address allowed. If any other MAC address tries to connect on this port, and if you already configure the static MAC address learning, if you already define here static MAC address, and if on this port any other MAC address tries to connect, what will happen? Violation will occur. That is called violation. Clear, guys? Everyone, yes or no? So this is the first way which will learn the MAC address. Clear? In port security, the second thing is, guys, dynamic MAC address learning also. What, guys? Dynamic MAC address learning. What is called dynamic MAC address learning? What do you mean by dynamic MAC address learning? Dynamic MAC address learning means, guys, I hope you everyone know, the switch learn the MAC address dynamically. Yes or no? Switch learn the MAC address dynamically. Getting my point? And what switch will do? Switch store that MAC address temporarily in which table? MAC address table. Please remember, I am writing here, switch learn the MAC address dynamically and store that MAC address on temporary basis in which table? In MAC address table. In which table, guys? MAC address table. I hope this is clear to all of you, right? So in this case, what will happen, guys? If switch learn the MAC address dynamically, so please remember, if switch will reboot, what will happen? Learn MAC address will be lost. Whatever the MAC address which learned, it will be lost. Whatever the MAC address which learned, guys, it will be lost. Clear, guys? Everyone, I hope this is clear. Yes. Understand? Anyone? Any question? Anything? Okay. So, guys, the third one is the third way by which it learn the MAC address. Right now, I told you that is called, guys, sticky one. What is called, guys? Sticky MAC address learning. Sticky MAC address learning. This is the third one, guys. This is the third one. This is the third one by which switch can learn the MAC address. What is the difference? What happened in sticky MAC address? In this case, also switch learn the MAC address dynamically. In this case, also switch learn the MAC address dynamically. But what is the difference? But switch store that MAC address in running configuration permanently. So if you reboot your device, your MAC address, your device MAC address still be there. It will not lost. Is this clear, guys? I hope this is clear, guys. Everyone, yes or no? What is the command? I already told you. Switch port security, MAC address, sticky. What is the command, guys? Switch port security, MAC address, command is sticky. Clear, guys? So by the help of this command, you can enable the sticky MAC address feature. Sticky MAC address feature. Clear, guys? So I hope now you guys understand there are three ways which can learn the MAC address in the port security. First one is guys manually, second one is dynamically, and the third one is called sticky MAC address. Clear, guys? Everyone, yes or no? Yes. Yes. Even when you reboot the device, the sticky MAC address will be there. Now, I am asking one question. Who can tell me the answer? My question is, if I save the configuration, guys, here in this case, you need to save the configuration. Clear? After save the configuration, reboot the device. Reboot the device. But after reboot the device, still you guys will get your MAC address. Your MAC address will not remove. Clear? But my question is, if I save the configuration in case of dynamic MAC address here, guys, here also now switch is learning the MAC address dynamically, and here switch also learning the MAC address dynamically. Here we are saving, so that's the reason MAC address is there. But can I save the MAC address here? If I save the running configuration here, if I save the configuration here, if I write the right command here, getting my point? And if I reboot then if we reboot the device, MAC address persist or not? If not, then why? Do you understand my question? My question is, if in case of dynamic MAC address learning, after running this command, after that we save the configuration by using right command, and after save we reboot the device. My question is, does the MAC address still be there? If yes, then tell me. If not, then why? No answer? Okay. Guys, think logically. Think very logically. Tell me one thing. In dynamic MAC address learning, the switch store the learn MAC address where? In which table? In CAM table. In CAM table only. Right now, and CAM table is present where? RAM. Where, guys? CAM table is present where, guys? In RAM. So when switch reboot, what will happen, guys? RAM also clear. RAM also clear. So if RAM clear, all the dynamic MAC address learned, which is stored in the CAM table, also lost. Also lost. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Right now. So running configuration. So please remember, running configuration does not store the dynamic learn MAC address. So if you are writing or if you are saving the configuration, it will not help. It will not work. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Right now. So these are the things you need to remember. Done, guys? Everyone? Yes or no? Tell me. Now, next thing that we need to discuss, that is called port security violation mode. Port security violation mode. Clear? So please remember there are three types of violation mode. There are three types of violation mode. First one is called, guys, protect. First one is called protect. Second one is called restrict. And the third one is called shutdown. Third one is called shutdown. So basically, these are the three types of violation mode you guys can set in the port security. Clear? Restrict mode we already discussed. Clear, guys? Everyone, yes or no? Right now. So protect and shutdown we need to discuss. Clear, guys? Everyone. Now my question is how we can configure these mode. How we can configure these violation mode. The command is same that we use the restrict time. So command is switch port, switch port, port security, switch port, port security, violation, violation. And after that, if you want to use protect, you can use protect. If you want to use restrict, you can use restrict. If you want to use shutdown, you can use shutdown. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Done na? So basically, guys, this is the command by which you can set the violation mode in port security. Clear, guys? Understand? Now, first of all, we need to discuss about the protect because restrict one we already discussed, right, guys? Restrict one we already discussed. We are discussing protect one. So if I configure protect mode, if I configure violation mode protect, then if any types of, for example, here I configure the violation mode protect, and if any unauthorized MAC address come here on this port, switch will take the action. Yes or no? Right? Switch will take the action according to the violation mode that you set. So what you set here? You set protect. Clear na? So what protect will do actually? Getting my point? So first thing, please remember, if any unauthorized MAC address learn on this port, and if you set the violation mode, that is protect, then what happened actually, and what is the action which will take? Do you understand my point? What is the action which will take? The first action, the switch silently drop the packet. Silently drop the packet which is coming from unauthorized MAC. First point. Second point, switch do not generate any types of log as well. Any types of log as well. Getting my point? Yes. Third point, for example, on this port violation occur, right? The port remain operational. The port remain operational. Getting my point? The port remain operational for the allowed MAC. For the allowed MAC address. It means for allowed MAC address, port is already remain, but only this packet is getting dropped. So it is not going to shut down this port. No, your port even not going the error disable mode. Clear? And what about the violation counter? Please remember, violation counter also not increase. Violation counter also not increase. So guys, basically these are the action which will take when you configure violation mode protect. Clear? Understand guys? Your packet is getting dropped, which is not going to inform the network administrator by sending any types of log, as well as the port is remain operational for all the allowed MAC address, and the violation counter also will not increase. Getting my point? Everyone, yes or no? Done? Understand guys? Okay, cool. Yes. So if I ask you, in which type of scenario generally we are using this one, this protect mode? In which type of scenario generally we are using protect mode? Getting my point? The basic thing, when you don't want security alert, because here no logs are generated. Getting my point? And for example, if you don't want any types of alert, but yes, switch is just dropping the packet, but switch is not generating, and switch should not generate any types of log, then you can use this mode. There is no problem. Getting my point? Yes or no? Right now? Yes. Now, third one is called guys shutdown. Third one is called shutdown. What do you mean by shutdown? See here. If you set violation mode shutdown, then what will happen? Which type of action switch will take? First action switch will take, the switch immediately disable the port. The switch immediately disable the port. Clear? Your port will go in error disable mode. Error disable means just like a shutdown. In which mode, guys? Error disable mode. Third point, switch will take action. The third action switch will take, switch will send the log to network administrator to inform about this violation. To inform about this violation. Point number 4, violation counter also will increase. Clear, guys? So basically, these are the 4 points you need to understand. If you set the violation mode shutdown, switch will take this type of action. Getting my point? Yes or no? Tell me. Clear? For example, on this port, if you set maximum port is 2. For example, here you are running the command switch port security maximum 2. It means by the help of this command, what you are telling? You are telling only 2 MAC addresses allowed on this port. Only 2 MAC address is allowed on this port. For example, if there are device, if there are third device with different MAC address tries to connect with this port, it means that is called violation, right? And if you set the violation mode shutdown, what switch will do? Switch will immediately shut down that port, shut down this port, and immediately your port will go in which mode? Error disable mode. Switch immediately send the log message to the network administrator and inform this type of unauthorized access. Getting my point? And violation counter also increased by 1. Is this clear, guys? Everyone, yes or no? Done na? Yes. Now, if I ask you, in which type of scenario, generally we are using this type of mode, shutdown mode? For example, try to understand, if you want if you want to take any types of strict action, if you want to take any types of strict action. For example, there is a high security environment, for example, data center. For example, the best example is data center. In the data center, generally we have a high-end devices. For example, we have a DR, we have an Nexus switch. Getting my point? So generally in data center, we on devices, we are configuring this violation mode, shutdown mode, because there we can't compromise with the security. Getting my point? Yes or no? Right now, for example, if you have a finance network, for example, there is a switch on with the switch, finance servers or finance team computers are connected. So there also we guys are using shutdown mode. Getting my point? Yes or no? Right now. So basically, shutdown mode generally we are using in that type of environment. There we want to take the strict action. Clear, guys? Understand? Yes. Cool. Now, just a minute, guys. Give me a minute, 1 minute. Okay. So now I hope you guys understand in shutdown mode what happened. Your any types of violation will occur, switch will immediately move your port down, as well as you can say in error disable mode. Right now. Now, what do you mean by error disable? And actually the main thing is how we can recover from error disable mode. This is my question. For example, if any types of violation occur here, on this port any types of violation occur, and in this way your port will go in which mode, guys? Your port will go in error disable mode. For example, here please remember, here any packet came and what happened? Violation occur violation occur violation occur. And what is the violation mode? Violation mode is, for example, shutdown. Violation mode is shutdown. So if violation mode is shut down, what will happen? Your port will go in error disable mode. Agree, everyone? Yes or no? Right now, your port will go in error disable mode. Clear? Now, my question is how to recover from error disable mode. How to recover from error disable mode. Clear? So guys, please remember, generally there are two ways by which we can recover from the error disable mode. How many ways? There are two ways. Clear? So first one is called manually. First one is called manually, or you can say manual recovery. And second one is called, guys, dynamically. Dynamically. Or if you want to perform the dynamically, it means you need to configure a command. Clear na? So basically there are two ways by which we can recover from error disable. Clear? What do you mean by manually? Try to understand. Manually means what you need to do. You need to go on this interface on which your on that interface that port is in error disable. So in my case, fast Ethernet 0x1 is in error disable mode right now. So I will go in interface fast Ethernet 0x1. I will go in interface fast Ethernet 0x1, and what I will do, I will write shut no shut. What I will do, guys, I will write shut and no shut command. Clear na? First shut, then no shut. What will happen? Basically, this will reset the port. This will reset the port, and this and by this way you allow the traffic again. So guys, this is called manual method. Manually go to the port, write the shut no shut, and by this way you are allowing the traffic again. This is the manual way. Clear na? But if I want to recover automatically, automatic recovery, how we can set the automatic recovery? Getting my point? So what you can do, on switch, on switch, you need to write the command. You need to go in the global configuration mode. Please remember, where, guys? In global configuration mode. Clear na? And set the command error disable recovery cause p secure and violation. After that, again in global configuration mode, you need to set the timer also, guys. Error disable, recovery, interval. For example, I write here 30. I write here 30. What will happen? By this command, now your port will automatically recover after 30 seconds. So after 30 seconds, your port will automatically recover. Getting my point? I hope you guys understand. Is this clear? So by this way, you can recover the port from error disable. Done, guys? Everyone? Yes or no? Right now? Yes. Anyone here who do not understand? Clear now? Now, the last thing about the port security that we need to understand, how can we verify the things? Or you can say, how can we check the port security status? How can we check the port security status? Clear? For example, you are using the port security on fast Ethernet 0x1. So you can write so port security interface fast Ethernet 0x1. By this command, you can check the port security, guys. By this command, you can check the port security. Clear na? Even if you want, so port security address also. By this, you can also run this command also, guys. So by the help of this command, what you can do, you can check the secure MAC address. You can check the secure MAC address. Clear na? The third thing, if you want to check which port is in error disable mode. So what is the command? So interface status disabled. Error disabled. So by this command, what you can do, you can check which port is in error disable mode. Clear, guys? I hope everyone understand about the port security. Clear, guys? For example, come here, guys. Come here. For example, in this case, I have a this device, I have a this device, and this is the switch. Clear na? So MAC address of this interface is 0A, MAC address is 0B. MAC address is 0A and MAC address is 0B. Clear? So I come here on this switch. Then how can we configure the port security, guys? What I told you, first of all, you need to go interface, for example, gig 1/0/1, 1/0/1 on this port. Clear? I'm writing command, guys. First of all, please understand. Switch port mode access. I told you, first of all, you need to configure this port as the access port, because here who is connected? PC is connected and the user is connected. Don't think this is the router. This is the PC. I configure this as a PC. Clear, guys? After that, you need to write switch port security. This is the command, right? By this way, you can enable the port security. Clear? Switch port security maximum, and I press the question mark. This is the range from 1 to 132. Getting my point? For example, I'm writing 2. I set or I allow how many MAC address on this port? 2. Now you need to set the violation mode also. Switch port security, violation, and I press the question mark. How many violation mode is there? I told you, there are 3 types of violation mode: protect, restrict, and shut down. Protect, restrict, and shut down. For example, I write here shut down. I set here the port security shut down. Is this clear, guys? Everyone, yes or no? Right? After that, there is a one more command that is called switch port. I told you port security, MAC address, and I told you one command that is sticky command. Clear na? What is the meaning of a sticky command? Please tell me. What is the meaning of a sticky command? Yes, the switch dynamically learn the MAC address from incoming traffic and automatically save in which table, guys? Secure MAC address. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Right now. So if you save the configuration, it will persist. It will not remove after the reboot also. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Right now? Yes. Clear, guys? Everyone tell me yes or no. Right now? Yes. Yes. So I write this command. Clear? So by this way, what I did, guys, I configure the what? I configure port security. Clear na? How can you check the port security? What is the command I told you? What is the command I told you to check the port security. So the first command I told you, so show port security interface gig 1/0/1. See here very carefully, guys. Port security is enable. Violation mode is what? Shut down. Clear na everyone? Yes or no? Right? Now. Last secure MAC address 000A. What is 00A? This is the MAC address of this device. It means this switch already received the MAC address of this device. Getting my point? Violation counter is 0. Violation counter is 0. Getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Tell me yes. Right? Everyone. Run right now? Yes. And for example, what I am doing, I go on this router and I am, first of all, I need to check show interface gig 0/0. What is the MAC address I set here, guys? I set here 0A. This is the MAC address I set here. Let me change the MAC address of this port. Conf T. Tell me, for example, so IP interface brief. What is the IP address, guys? 10.1 I configured here. Done na? And on second router I configured 10.2. Okay. So I'm right pinging, guys. Ping 10.0.0.2. Yes, I'm able to ping. There is no problem. Right? Show MAC. So sorry, I already disabled the routing table. So I'm able to ping here, right? Everyone, yes or no? Right now, go to this search, and when you check the cam table, so MAC address table. So on this MAC address table, one is 0A on which port? On this port, and 0B on this port. Clear now? Switch already know. What I did, and I already configure here, guys. Here I already configure the port security on this port, right now. And what is sticky one, right now? So switch no only 0A. This port understand 0A. What I'm trying to do, I go in global configuration mode, interface gig 0/0. I am writing MAC address. I want to change the MAC address 0000000000. And for example, I set the MAC address C. I set the MAC address C. Clear, guys? Everyone, yes or no? Right now, I set the MAC address C. Ping 10.0.0.2. I am able to ping. I am able to ping. There is no problem, right? Conf T, again I go interface gig 0/0 MAC address 0000000000 D exit ping 10.0.0.2. I'm able to ping. I'm able to ping. Don't know what is happening here. For example, I change the MAC address. I change the MAC address. For example, okay, see differently. For example, I told you how many ways by which switch can learn the MAC address, guys. Who can tell me how many ways switch can learn the MAC address? MAC address. Tell me, guys, fast. Manually, yes, manually, dynamically, and sticky one. Okay, so let me go on to the switch. I am going on interface gig 1/0/1. I'm setting the MAC address manually. What is the command, guys? I told you switch port security, MAC address, switch port security, MAC address. What is the MAC address here? We set, guys, 1234, 1234, 123, and I right now I set there D. Total secure MAC address on interface has reached limit. Reached limit. Okay, it is telling port security already reached the limit. Okay, no problem. Now, what I did that time, guys, if you can remind me, at that time we configure one command maximum, I think. Yes, I remember. Switch port security maximum. At that time we configured 2. Now I am changing the 3. Clear? Now I am changing the MAC address D. Now it accept the command. Clear, guys? Yes or no? Right? This is the D. Now, if you try to ping here to here, ping will be successful. There is no problem. Ping is successful. There is no problem. Clear? And on this port, we set how many maximum? Maximum we set 3, right? And I think maximum is already done now. This port already received A, B, C, and D also, I think. A was previous, so B, C, D. Now, let me change the MAC address, then try. Interface gig 0/0 MAC address 1234.123.123. E. The LAN protocol interface states to down. Why down? Come to this interface. Show, please see very carefully, guys. So port security interface gig 1/0/1. Port status secure, shutdown, port security enabled. Port security enable. Now, for example, what is the command I told you to check the port is in error disable mode? For example, the basic thing. Show interface gig 1/0/1 status. See here, guys. Your port is now in which mode? Your port is now in error disable mode. Your port is now in error disable mode. What is the reason? Because on this switch, on this port, maximum how many ports you guys are enabled? How many MAC address you enable? 3, na? Yes or no, everyone? Right? Previously there was 0A. After that you change, guys. Sorry, B is here. So you already enable 3. So first one, then guys, B we configure C. Are everyone yes or no? Right now? Then I configure D. So these 3 are already allowed. So if you set here 0A, 0C, and 0D, you guys can ping here because you already allowed the 3. But if I set the E, it means this is the fourth one. Right now, it means fourth one means violation will occur. Getting my point? Yes or no? And if violation will occur, this switch will take the action. But which type of action? You already set here shutdown action. So switch will immediately move this port in which mode? Error disable mode that we discussed. Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Let me know. Understand? Yes. So now your port is in error disable mode. Clear? Now I told you how can you recover from error disable mode. First thing I told you manually, and second thing I told you dynamically. For example, I go to the global configuration mode. Manually, how guys? Interface gig 1/0/1. I am writing sut no sut. Sut and no sut. Your port is now up. Your port is now up. Now port is up means, but still, if I ping from here to here, your port immediately go in error disable mode. Why? Because still you are sending the packet with 0E. Port is up means this port is only up for allowed MAC address. This port is up only for allowed MAC address. Getting my point? And on this port already 0A, 0C, and 0D is allowed. But if you are sending with 0E, immediately your port will go in error disable mode. Is this clear, guys? Everyone tell me yes or no. Right now, for example, ping 10.0.0.2. We are able to ping, but it should take the action, guys. Because only this is allowed for only allowed MAC address. But on this router, I don't think so. Interface gig 0/0. MAC address is, what is the MAC address? 0E. What is the MAC address, guys? 0E MAC address is there, guys. Are you getting my point, everyone? Yes or no? Right now? Okay, cool. Now come here on this port. Second thing, what I told you. Second thing I told you, by automatically you can configure right now. So how can you configure automatically, guys? I told you go to the global configuration mode and write the command error. I don't think switch will take the command error disable. No, it will not take. But I hope you guys have idea what is the command you need to configure here. I already told you. Right? Everyone, tell me. Right now, error. What is the command I told you? Error disable, recovery cause, P secure, violation. It is not taking. Interface gig 1/0/1. No, it is not taking. So on this, in packet tester, it is not supporting, but I hope you guys have idea what is the command we need to configure. Done, guys. Let me check on this switch, but I don't think if they're not work, then no, it will not work. Yeah. So guys, basically in packet tester, it is not supporting. Clear, guys? So I hope now you guys have idea about the port security, how actually the port security work. Clear, guys? So guys, this is the first topic of security part of CCNA. Done. I hope you guys understand. Clear?